Do I need to... I do need to kind of heal a little bit. So yeah, there's my opinions on generative AI. In a shell nut. Essentially. That'd be my takes. Doesn't feel like half a decade. It certainly does not, does it? There's gonna be a few people who pull out of their Nvidia stock right before the bubble burst that are gonna be rich for the next 2 decades on that alone. Oh, no doubt with like how much stuff like that is going up. Yeah, you do make a good point. But just like anything with the stock market, either you're in the know about when to pull out, or you assume that you're gonna be one of those people that can, a pair of Sonic Strikers, cool, I'll put that on sometime later. Or you assume that you're gonna be one of those people that can guess when the right time to pull out is. And so many people feel that way, and so many people lose so much money being like, oh, it's gonna gain so much value. And, you know, take rug pulls, for example. This is obviously a rug pull. I'm gonna invest into it because I'm gonna be smart enough to, like, take my money out before I get rugged. Ah, damn, I got rugged. The only reliable way you know is if you're someone that is in the know, like, behind the scenes about what's gonna happen. And everyone thinks that they're the chosen one that can figure out when it's gonna be, has a good sense for that. And nobody does.
They're here!
Yeah, Gen AI proves to me that the stock market is a mistake. We should have never even come up with that as a concept. Yeah, I can kind of agree. You know, and it's not even like Gen AI stuff that makes me think about that. Even just, I think the first time that I thought that, I was probably in like early university, late high school, something like that. And I had heard about this situation where Elon Musk just made a tweet about like some sort of a brand or product or something like that, saying that he didn't really particularly like them. And all of a sudden the stock price just drops on people's funds that they had invested in it. It's just tanked. Just from one rich asshole making a tweet like, oh, I don't really like that. In theory, it's illegal to buy or sell stocks based on knowledge that isn't available to the public. In practice, our government doesn't pursue arresting rich people. Yep. Yep. In theory, like, no one would be doing insider trading, as we call it, but we all know that's obviously not the case. More than just Gen AI, but this whole Gen AI thing is just more evidence. Yeah, I can agree with that. Here we go. I can definitely agree with that. Man, this guy's trying to do circles around me. What a weirdo. Now he's dead. Ready for more hitting the square button? Did I successfully dodge the shotgun? Am I actually like a action gamer? Look, a Barrett teleporting over here like a weirdo.
Pushovers. Come on, y'all. Let's see what kind of mischief they were getting up to.
Blink. Sector 5 reactor keycard obtained.
And never enough keycards.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. The stock market is merely a casino with way too much power. It really seems that way, doesn't it?
This or something else?
What do you mean, or something else? Disposing of AI programming cores. Removing an Airbuster's programming core hampers its tactical awareness and reduces the frequency with which it fires its finger beams and attack that stuns targets. That sounds like something I want to get rid of. Why would I not want to get rid of that? You're saying, like, get rid of something else, as in I can go back down to the lower levels and get rid of other things to a stronger extent, is what you're telling me? Where it's like you pick up so many key cards and you can choose which aspects you want to get rid of more of. Whatever.
I was thinking the same thing.
We're going the vanilla way here.
Think we've done enough to weaken the robot?
All that we can, at least.
Yeah, I think that it is all that we can.
The stage is set. All that's left is to hijack Heidegger's show.
We've already interacted. Ooh. Yoink! Another thing.
Big bomber shells. We should divert.
Oh, there's different terminals there. I gotcha. And those are big attacks. Those finger guns sound like really annoying. So this entire time there was probably multiple terminals and I didn't even realize it. Take away your finger guns. No,
AI programming cores help it move faster, right? Divert it or not?
Sure, I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. We're hampering the abilities of the generative AI. Located within the Airbuster. We're doing our own contributions here towards the effort with all this Gen AI talk. I hit the wrong button to attack there. I hit triangle. Someone some MP with a Mako shard. Yeah, US government is even trying to hide that fact anymore. It sure seems that way, doesn't it? Like, look at how nothing is being done about the people in the files. Yep. Yep. Yeah, makes you, at least for me, makes me really quite depressed about the world we live in. Alright, let's go on through here. Let's head on
We're
through.
coming up on the exit. Tifa, detonator still in range?
We should be
We
good.
all good there.
The moment Big Boy goes down, you hit that switch.
Right.
Alright, this is the way we go.
You going
More dudes. Time to hit square some more. Darn you and your dodging ways. But Thomas the Tank Engine should be getting even more high quality games. I don't know how exactly that's connected, but heck yeah. Give me Thomas the Tank Engine economy. That's something to invest in instead. I guess that, oh my god. Here we go. Stop. So long. Okay, I gotta be using my ATB. I really wish I could have like more than 2 notches, like at least 3. I keep on getting to 2 notches and forgetting that I have them, and then it just kind of goes to waste as I keep on not spending them for a while. So it kind of ends up continuing to go on here. Here we go. I don't know. You go ahead and give me a little bit of a healy here, I think. Yeah, a good kind of comforting thing in that case. Ooh. Wow. Always good to have some things like that. For me, that's kind of streaming in a little bit of a sense.
Just like that, okay?
To be fair, an average person can leverage the stock market to great effect, specifically investing in an S&P 500 fund. S&P 500 is the top 500 companies, which keeps you from gambling on one company and more so letting your money increase with inflation as all companies slowly grow. Yeah, and there's absolutely services that you can, oh, Google Metal, apparently. Services that you can use that are just about, like, investing into, like, traditional kind of stuff. Like, take a, I don't know what the hell I'm saying, traditional kind of stuff. They take your money and they invest it, and so they make a little bit of money off of what they're investing of your money, but you also get a cut of that and your money continues to grow. Like, an example platform for that would be like Wealthsimple. I have a Wealthsimple account where, you know, I regularly deposit like X amount of money like every month, where a little bit of money automatically goes from my bank account into the Wealthsimple, and it continues to grow as it's invested into different things. I don't have to touch anything in terms of, you know, actually having to think about where that's being invested myself. I just trust that, you know, it'll generally go up. It'll have some dips here and there. Like, sometimes the amount of money in that account will go down, but it's generally following the pattern of, you know, something like that, where there's dips, but it's generally going up, you know. I guess I'll go that way in a hot second here.
Not that way.
I recognize this way. Can't even drop it down and have a way to connect everything back again.
Double back.
Guess not. Yeah, one of those linear games where every time you get through an area,
Can't say we didn't
the previous
prepare.
area's gone.
Now we just gotta get it done.
But yeah, if you just put a bunch of money in 1 or 2 companies and aren't well researched, it does just become gambling. Yeah, it absolutely does. And now there's like the whole gambling epidemic that's spreading into like real world things, like the, what was the name of that one platform? Was it Polymarket or something like that? Where it's like gamble on anything in the real world. And I think it was a CoffeeZilla video that I was watching at one point, where it was like, well, people can affect the real world. And so, okay, so yeah, it was Polymarket. And there have been like really dumb situations, like people gambling on things like, will another dildo be thrown onto the court during women's basketball? And people would keep on gambling, yes, and there would keep on being someone that goes up there and tosses a dildo onto the women's basketball court and, you know, gets to score it out, taken by security, arrested, whatever the heck, and just doesn't care because they make however much money they do off of it. It's so, it's so dumb. Polymarket is trying to be as powerful as the stock market. They really are. They really never should have removed those gambling laws. I agree. I absolutely agree. And gambling makes so much money. Sometimes I genuinely wonder how much money Stake has behind its marketing. Like, there's a few websites that I go to, like, for watching things like different animes for free, and for them to make money, they need to sometimes have, like, redirects that take you to another site. So, like, you know, people that give them money. I get redirected to Stake a lot from from that, and sometimes when I'm on like a different site and I try to click like the X of the ad to go away, you miss it by like freaking nanopixel. Sometimes I don't even get directed to the thing that was shown there. Sometimes I just get directed to steak. And now, because sometimes one of my favorite places to just be watching anime and chilling out is on my phone. Like, I just relax in bed, I'll watch like a couple episodes of an anime and then I'll conk out. And because of that, and because like, you know, you click play, you get directed to another site briefly, you gotta close that site, go back. I get redirected to steak a decent bit. I start typing S into the search bar on my phone, and the autocomplete starts filling in steak. And it's like, oh my god. What the hell? There's gotta be a way to just like ban particular sites, and maybe I can add steak to like a banned site. Because I'm actually starting to get like really tired of it there. Because humans love gambling, even those of us that hate it, we still partake in it and enjoy it on some level. Humans love seemingly random chance. Humans love random chance, and humans love the feeling that they have a chance to change their quality of life like that. Get rich quick scheme with, you know, just a moment, a gamble made right. You can win it big, is what humans really quite like. My boss actually had an interesting discussion with me about this at one point. He had told me that, you know, the company that I work for, they're Korean there, and he was telling me that in a lot of Asian countries in general, that gambling is a lot more accepted there, but it's also partaken from, like, with, you know, upper class and lower class together gambling and, you know, on regular bases. And he was like, I don't know if I quite fully understood, like, the concept that he was trying to share with me, but he was telling me about how, you know, sometimes in that kind of situation, gambling can help make society a little bit more balanced from the perspective of, if you're at the top, you might not always be at the top, because you might lose it to someone that gambled with you that's on the bottom, that has now been brought up to the top because they won during a bet. And like the idea that your status can shift over time as you continue to gamble, not against like a house in these big flashy casinos, but against one another, and it being like a societal norm that, you know, you can change your status to a degree within like your own group. And, you know, again, I don't think that I fully understood what he was trying to share with me there, but, you know, it did sound interesting and like a perspective that I hadn't really considered before, you know. But in terms of like problem gambling here, and this is something that we had talked about a little bit as well, is I don't think it's as much random chance as it is the feeling that this is a chance for my life to be drastically improved like that, without having to put in any real work. That there's a chance that my life could be made just like that. You know, look at how big the lottery is. Like, statistically speaking, you are more likely to die on the way to purchasing a lottery ticket than you are to win the lottery. And yet, like, it's such an easy thing to go to, because it's one of those things that gives hope and, like, the prospect of there exists a chance where my life could be made. And that's something that my boss was telling me, is like, things like the lottery are great because it gives people hope in that sense. And it's like, you know, I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but I did think that it was still an interesting perspective to consider there and stuff. And I mean, the company that I work for here, the real estate side of it at least, like, I've been doing a lot of programming stuff. I've been more of a software developer lately than anything, but on the real estate side, we do a lot of low-income housing. We work with a lot of programs that are all about housing the homeless, and so a great number of our tenants are those that are a part of these homeless programs. And so I feel like my boss really does sympathize with those that are homeless and does want to help them. And, you know, those that are either homeless or low income and stuff like that. And he was saying that, you know, among that kind of demographic even, things like the lottery are really great because it helps give hope, in a sense, that, you know, the inspiration to keep on going another day and keep on at it, because you have like that hope that helps you carry on. And again, I thought it was an interesting perspective. I don't know if it was something that I 100% agreed with, but I thought that it was an interesting another take on gambling to see. In terms of, you know, something minor like the lottery where it only costs like a couple bucks, you know. I think it's an interesting perspective, but the issue I think is lack of regulation. It's too easy to lose everything. Yep. And if you are winning a whole lot in a casino, they're going to ask you to leave. That's how it goes. I assume that there's like Airbuster battle right past this, which is why I've been kind of freezing. Is there the main big battle right after this? Maybe pretty soon. Probably not quite yet. I could keep rambling about gambling then. we're not at that bridge yet.
Work faster,
Final
or you'll
adjustments.
hear it from the brass.
Because there is some more stuff that I would want to say about gambling there.
Look,
If I can
they're
remember what
still
they are.
prepping it.
I kind of ramble a decent bit about
They're here.
lottery stuff that I might have
Every
forgotten.
second you can.
Now I gotta mash X or square, whatever the heck, so I can't concentrate anymore. But yeah, I do think that gambling is like a major problem. I don't think that I would ever see myself gambling. I'm not like, I'm the kind of person that wouldn't even buy a lottery ticket. Like I'm not particularly interested. The only way that I would gamble is if it's with friends and, you know, there's no house involved, but we're just like gambling among friends and like, oh yeah, someone comes out of this a little bit richer between the two of us. Whoever it is, one. You know what I can afford to lose and stuff like that. Like, that kind of gambling I would do, because, you know, that's, you know, just meant to be, like, fun among friends. You know, you losing money and them getting it, it's like, okay, well, it sucks a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. It's not like an auto-tune material improves. Not like a house yoinking your monies or anything like that. Not quite the same situation. Don't want to abolish gambling. It's too baked into our culture to remove. I do want actual regulation. Yep, agreed. But yeah, there's so much money in it. Like, one thing that I think I was going to mention earlier and I've forgotten was when Guzma was visiting here a couple of years ago, one of the things that he wanted to see while he was here was a hockey game, because we're here visiting Canada, see what a hockey game in Canada is like in person. And I've never been a fan of professional sports, which is its own whole can of worms that I'll ramble about one day. But, you know, I went and, you know, partook in that as well. Just like, you know, I'll come along and be part of this. I'm not going to send him to go out and do this on his own or anything like that. I'm not a dick.
Should work in our favor.
For real,
So
though,
we went
need
to this
talk
hockey game,
victory poses.
and
Something coordinated for the
it's
live
the
on
only
camera
time
thing.
within, like, a time that I would significantly remember it that I'd seen a hockey game. I would have with, like, my parents as a kid, since my parents are into it. But, yeah.
No way up.
Point is, it's a time that I'm old enough that I would remember it. And one of the things that really stunned me is how many gambling ads there were. Like, there was a lot of breaks during the hockey game that I'm sure were taken for, you know, they're like commercial breaks for whatever they're airing on TV. And they take that time for like real commercial breaks with the actual hockey game as well there, on like the big Jumbotron and also like the little displays going around the rink. And across this one hockey game, there was ad segments for a total of 4 different gambling platforms. 2 like actual physical casinos that exist in the area here, and 2 online platforms. So we had gone and seen a game of the Edmonton Oilers, and one of these gambling platforms as well, where it's like, you know, do the slots and, you know, try to get the matches and stuff like that. One of them is Edmonton Oilers themed, and you match all the Oilers symbols and you get a bunch of money, and it's like, my God, there's a part of me that can't help but think, are people really this dumb? From one perspective. But, you know, I do try to consider about how, you know, these kinds of things really do hack into, our brains, you know?
Keep looking.
Not that way. But, you know, it's a little bit scary and a little bit sad in several ways. But I remember being really quite surprised about that, you know? And, you know, you see a brand you recognize, and it might make you feel a little bit more compelled to put in the money with the prospect of being able to make a whole lot. Or, you know, or even just getting, like, endorsements from people that you trust or look up to or stuff like that. Like, I forget if the ads had shown, like, specific hockey players or anything like that. But, you know, you see a hockey player that you're really into, and it's like, man, this guy uses that app. I should really get into it. There's a lot of celebrity endorsements that happen with a lot of these sports betting apps. Like, one really big celebrity in that is Kevin Hart, for example. Like, you're seeing a sports betting ad with a celebrity endorsement, 50-50 chance it's probably him. I would say there, where, you know, they're being paid like some really big bucks so that people can look and be like, oh, that's a face that I like, that's an actor that I like, that's a professional sports player I like, whatever kind of thing. You know, people that they have like a natural like to, and therefore a natural sense of trust to. And it's like, oh, that person is on this app and saying that, like, oh, get with the game, and you're seeing these ads of, like, these celebrities that you like that are comparing their apps and being like, let's make sure we make the right bet. And they won, and then they're like high-fiving and stuff like that. And, you know, people associate a level of trust with that, and then they go and spend a whole bunch of money and get themselves in debt, or, you know, waste a whole bunch of money for no reason, just for some stupid short dopamine. It's really sad. It's what it is. Fantasy sports is one of the big pillars of gambling. Absolutely. You don't realize how terrifyingly massive sports gambling is. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, I get it, but I don't think I truly get it. You know, like if you try to, it's like when you try to visualize what 100 looks like versus what 1,000 looks like versus what 10,000 versus what 1,000,000 looks like. Where it's like, okay, I can, you know, say 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 or whatever the heck kind of big number, but I can't visualize what that actually looks like. That's what sports gambling is, I would say. Where it's like, okay, like I get it that it's huge, but in terms of like actually conceptualizing and being able to truly visualize it, can anyone really understand how huge it is? The amount of gambling that happens in the USA when Super Bowl season starts. It's terrifying. I believe it. I very much believe it. So, yeah, gambling is certainly something there. Is what I will say. Really quite scary. Oops. Oh, I can attack the individual blades as well. You're about to get staggered here anyway. Is the thing though. I tried to dodge that for real like an action game, but I couldn't exactly here. Then we do some of these shenanigans. I did this way too late, didn't I? Yeah, did it way too late. Whatever, that's fine. Here. Big shot because he's almost dead anyway. Hey, please. Do some of these shenanigans. Whoops, I did the wrong one.
Don't overdo it.
Here, how about you? Oh, you need like your full thing. You have your full thing. Why can't you do focus shot? Child gambling laws are basically non-existent now due to how many loopholes there are, especially in the games industry. And that is a ramble that I've gone on about a few times on this channel. The whole gambling for children, things like loot boxes, gacha games. Oh man, do I ever hate gacha games. The thing that really gets them hooked into this super profitable and really detrimental individuals' lives industry here. We gotta get them hooked young. Gotta get those things like loot boxes, surprise mechanics, gacha. Gacha's really big. Man, do I ever despise it. Like, ooh, I've had that ramble many a times on this channel, as anyone that has been around this channel a while knows. I've gone on my gacha game rambles a decent few times and how it instills feelings of gambling there. But yeah, I was a victim of it, not to the extent I see of others, but I was. Yeah, and that's just something that a lot of people can definitely say. Like, it's not exactly uncommon. Not exactly an odd one out there by any means, unfortunately. You know, break all the things. Whoop. I was about to say something about gacha games, and then I completely forgot. I remember what it was now. Timed a bottle of ether. Fun fact, I actually worked for casinos for a little while. I, like, not directly. The fact that it's so common makes me want to scream. Yeah, same. In my early university years, one of my summer jobs that I was working for an IT company that does contract IT work for various other companies. So like every couple of weeks I was working for a different company as part of contract work for like the actual company that I was working for. So it was kind of cool. I got to see like a lot of different things and experience a lot of different things. But the place where I was working at first for like my first 2 weeks on the job were casinos. And it was a few different casinos that I was working for. It was like helping fix staff members' PCs. You know, like there's a little machine at the entrance to like help fix that and stuff like that. Didn't do that much work on like the actual machines for gambling themselves, but you know, just general infrastructure stuff and resolving support tickets and stuff like that. So I spent a little bit of time working under Pure Canadian Gaming there. Many years ago when I had heard of pure Canadian gaming, I thought like, oh, that means like, I guess there's something with Canada and video games or something like that. I have no idea. Nope, that's casinos, that's gambling, that's what PCG is. So I do have like a little bit of experience working in a casino environment there. Alpha Zero being what it is, well, is why I'm praising it as much as I am. Did the unthinkable and so much better than the original game. And they actually lift the airbuster up for me to go fight it. That is cool. I do kind of like that. It makes the airbuster feel a whole lot more tangible in this game, unlike the original where it's just like, yeah, it just shows up and you fight it. Like, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, so I was working in the casino there for a while. I had never seen the inside of a casino before that point. It really surprised me just how bright and flashy and constant stimulation everywhere there was. Like what you describe as a platform like TikTok nowadays, where it's like, there's no capacity, no possibility of getting bored. This might lead into the... Actually, no, there'll probably be a break station before the airbuster, right? Just want to finish my ramble before we get into the airbuster.
We're gonna get through this. We're gonna make it home. All of us.
So, you know, clearly a lot going on to really hook you
Right.
into it.
We don't want to disappoint Marlene. That goes for you too, Cloud. Right?
You better give her a big old smile this time.
If the price is right.
It's gotta give me a... Yes, it does, I'm pretty sure here. I thought that was a bench. Clearly it is not. But yeah, the guy that I was working under there, as we had been working around the casino for a while, one of the things that he asked me was, like, do you notice anything about the demographics of the people that are here, like, who the patrons of the casino are? And I had noticed that it seemed to especially be a lot of older folk. And, you know, that is also very much a demographic that they try to appeal towards with things like seniors discounts breakfasts and events like that in the mornings for, you know, retired seniors that can be there during those times anyway. So clearly they know their target audience here. And he had said, like, yeah, that's right. And his explanation for that was, like, I've said this on stream a couple of times, it's clearly something that stuck with me for my life now. He told me that when you're young, like when you're a kid, you have lots of time and lots of energy, but no money. When you're an adult, you have lots of money and lots of energy, but no time. Like, you're busy with work and your adult obligations. And when you're old, you have lots of money and lots of time, but no energy. You're not going to be going out and doing, like, sporty, active things anymore. But, you know, going and hitting a button or pulling the armor of the one-armed bandit or anything like that. Like, a lot of these things are designed to be very easy to do that don't really require a whole lot of effort. So when you have lots of time and lots of money, these retirement funds that you're figuring out what the hell do I do with it, and you're just bored because you don't have the energy to do like anything genuinely active, some people might end up going to the casino and using some of their savings from working all their life that way. And I thought that that was kind of a interesting observation there, and it's something that has stuck with me for a long time. So I think that you know, things like casinos do very much try to appeal to like the older demographic for that kind of reason, and that was something that I noticed when I was working under pure Canadian gaming. I intend to be doing model trains when I'm old instead of casinos, and I intend to be doing antique vehicles and gardening when I'm old instead of casinos. So much better things than casinos. But when I think about that analogy that he told me, and I relate it to gacha games, where it's like, when you're young, when you're a kid, you have lots of time and lots of energy, but no money. I think about that in regards to gacha games, because, like, when you're an adult and you want to play a video game, like, if you're working full-time and, you know, money isn't too tight, you want to go out and buy a game, like, fine, go out and buy a game, who cares? Like, go out to the store, buy the game, pop the disc, and do whatever you want, you know? Like, it's feasible. Like, I'm working full-time here. If there's a game that I want, I'll go buy it, like, whatever. It's not that big a deal. Of course, like, I'm gonna scoff if it's something like Mario Kart World at $110. It's not like I'm gonna be feeling good about that by any means. But typically speaking, there's a game I want, I go out and buy it, you know? But the trouble is how much time I have for games. But when you're a kid, you don't have that much money, maybe you're on allowance, and there's particular games you want. You might not be able to get it at all. You might have to save up over X period of time before you have like enough allowance money that you can get like that one game that you want to buy. You know, going around and getting anything that you're interested in like isn't as feasible there. So all of a sudden gacha games become kind of appealing because they're free to play. You don't have to shell out price of entry. So I feel like gacha games are especially lucrative for kids because they appeal to this potential audience, this player base that has so much time that they can potentially invest into your never end of a grind of a freemium game. And they don't have the money to like be out here making big purchases for things like modern games that sometimes do cost an arm and a leg, like I just mentioned with Mario Kart World. And you know, there is an argument to be made that is the price of standard AAA games too high? You know, like that is an argument that a lot will make. So why go for the big monies of try to convince them to save up for your one particular title when there's so many other ones that, you know, are in competition for that, when you can instead make your service free, make it a hella grind fest where they can invest so much time they have, really get hooked into your game. And when they have that like little smidge of allowance that they could keep on building up towards an actual full game like this, they can instead spend it in your game, that little smidge. And maybe next time they get an allowance, it's like, oh, you know, I'm still enjoying playing this game. The smidge goes to them, and they get their bag one way or another, you know? It's so that's very much why I feel like gacha games very much prey on children, especially. Like, of course there's gonna be like the occasional adult like whale consumer that is gonna be absolutely investing a metric shit ton into a game and, you know, really splurging some big bucks. But I feel generally with that model of takes a lot of time, it's free to play, and you can engage with microtransaction and bite-sized portions. Yeah, that is a business model that is going to be primarily targeting kids. And by doing that, it is instilling these feelings of gambling in a young demographic, rolling for like those 5 stars. Just keep on going at it and you'll get big money, you know? Just gotta keep on going for that dopamine hit. And I think it's genuinely despicable. Like, I feel extremely strongly about gacha games, and I feel strongly about gambling, I feel strongly about gacha games, and hoo boy, like, when it comes to gacha games that I feel like are targeting children and getting gambling instilled into them to potentially cause further problems later in life, and just not instill good practices in them about how to manage money at a young age and open the door for more irresponsible actions in the future. It really grinds my gears. Like, it really does genuinely infuriate me, I guess, you know? Like, I feel very, very strongly on it. Going to model kits when I'm retired, that's a good one, too.
What? Open it already.
It's locked down.
Is there any way we can get
I keep
it
on
open?
waiting, thinking, like,
Yeah,
what if the
not
Airbuster's
removable
right
yet.
around the corner? I kind of want to finish my ramble before then. That's why Octopath Zero needs to be praised. Yeah, one of the
Why
rare
does
examples
everything
where
have to be so
they
damn
made a
complicated?
freemium gacha game,
You know, the
and I was
faulty
like,
equipment
screw
store runs
that.
way too.
They made Octopath Traveler
Do you
Champions
think
of the
we'll find the
Continent,
components we
and there's
just
something
burned there?
actually cool behind it,
It's
but,
like a treasure vault. I like the sound
and
of
like,
that.
the music is like one of the greatest soundtracks I've heard in a video game. I love Champions of the Continent music, and therefore Octopath Zero music is so good. And like, it was a freemium
So, how
gacha
do
game,
we
that's
do
what it
this?
was. And then they made it as an actual
Remove the
paid
levers at
start
the
to
same
finish
time.
proper video
makes
game with
sense.
improvements to the
I'll
original.
take left.
It's like,
Which
what?
just leaves right, soldier boy.
I've never heard of another video game doing that. Usually they would just try to invest more into the freemium gacha game that they already have, because it's cheaper and it's easier. And it's so much less of a risk developing like a whole new thing, taking that and turning it into a proper game. But they went for it and turned that freemium gacha experience into a superior, just paid start to finish standard video game kind of thing. So it will be interesting to see some more of that in the industry, where it's like, yeah, when your freemium gacha game has had its run, make this content playable in a way that isn't predatory. It is a very, very unique position in the gaming industry there. Disabling locks. Locks can be disabled by simultaneously operating levers located on security panels. Baron and Cloud's levers are operated by using L and R respectively. Tifa signal push L and R in the direction shown on the display. Okay. But yeah, it's just not really something you hear about. Typically, they just keep on going hard on the freemium gacha instead of like, the gacha game's done now. Let's make it a real game now.
Emergency lockdown is currently
Make it a real boy like
So we
Pinocchio.
need to synchronize our movements?
In that case, follow my lead.
Nah, Tifa's.
Fine, have it your way.
Okay, pay attention, you two. 3, 2, 1. Don't rush it.
What?
Shake it off. 3, 2, 1.
Like, wait until it's all the way at the top?
Breathe.
God,
when I
Octopath
breathe.
Zero on a Whim has become my favorite game. It's had such an impact on me. That's
Focus.
crazy.
3, 2, 1.
What the hell?
We got this. 3, 2, 1.
I moved them both at the same time. I swear. Okay, do them in sync with her. I thought I needed to see what she did and then follow. I see that there's arrows
2,
now.
1.
So you do it at like the actual same time. I was trying to react to what she was doing. I didn't notice that there was arrows. That was it? It's not even a mini game with
Thank
like
God.
up and down and different
How
things?
the hell we made it through with dumbass here, I'll never know.
We really
I
are
don't
in
even know,
sync.
man.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
What did you say?
Okay, that's it. Let's go.
Again, such a good thing I did not try to gun for the airbuster during the last stream. At where I was at last stream, if I was playing the original Final Fantasy VII, I could have gotten to the airbuster in like, probably under an hour. This game. Oh boy, I don't know how long I've been streaming now, considering like it died partway through. So I don't have a good indication anymore. But man, this definitely takes quite a bit longer than the original game, huh?
That's right.
What's the catch?
Need to bypass a high.
So I had in the back of my mind like, oh, the airbuster's right around the corner.
Same deal.
Nope.
But we gotta do it several times.
Oh,
Was
okay, so there
hoping
is
you'd
more.
Say anything but that.
Screw it.
Oh hell no! We're doing this.
Yeah, we gotta try.
Okay. Well,